Hello everyone, welcome back or welcome to my channel. Pippin is my wonderful assistant today. Not being very helpful, he'll probably be a menace, but today we are going to be talking about my worst books of 2025. Now this year was not my best reading year at all. I don't know if it was just like I was so busy, I was finishing my last semester of school, like what really was going on there. Mental health wasn't the best, but I just was not reading good books. Like when I was reading, they were just not what I wanted. I read a lot of just middle of the road books, which isn't bad. It could have been worse, but I wish that there were just more standouts for me. Or I read a lot of books that I really enjoyed, but I had to give them like a 4-star because I predicted it. I've never been one to be able to predict twists, but this year, I don't know what it was about the books I was reading, but I was just like, yep, I knew it was gonna happen. So that's kind of sad. But I do have about, I think like 8 books on my worst books of the year list, and I will rank them from like the least bad to the worst. So the last book I'll talk about will be my worst book of the year. But to start, I'm going to talk about a couple DNFs I had this year. And I've always been someone that really tries not to DNF books. I hate being a quitter. Even TV shows that I know are not good and I'm not enjoying, like I feel guilty if I don't finish them. But this year, one of my goals was to DNF books if I am not enjoying it, because if I just keep trying to read a book that I have been trying to read for months and I'm not enjoying, it puts me into a slump. And I had plenty of ups and down slumps this year, so there were a couple of books that I was like, absolutely not. So the first one I'm going to talk about is Butcher and Blackbird by Brynne Weaver. I know this is a super popular book on Book Talk, on BookTube. The dark romance girlies love it. I hated it. Hated it. I think I got about 15% in, and that's how you know I like couldn't. And I, again, am someone where I like to try to give a full chance for a book. Again, I don't normally even DNF books, so the fact that I got that little through and was like, no, is crazy. This is basically a dark romance between 2 serial killers, and they end up on the same like crime scene, and so they try to do like a competition on who can kill they kill other serial killers. So I feel like that's where it's like, oh, like they're killing people, but like at least they're killing bad people. Doesn't that also make them bad though? Anyway, so they kind of do a competition to see who can find and kill this notorious serial killer first. And obviously there's like banter and like a longing, and it was disgusting. The banter between the 2 main characters, I hated it. Like I can't even remember their names. I just know I tried reading it multiple times for a few days, and every time I sat down to read it I was like, this is freaking awful. Like the writing was just so, like, I feel like I could have read a better story on ChatGPT. I did not like the way it was written. I didn't like the freaking characters. Again, the banter. I was like, y'all are supposed to be grown-ass adults murdering people, and you're acting like you're 12. I wouldn't even give them like high school status. Like it was gross. I did not like it. I won't really say much more. I think I talked about it in a video, which I will try to link all the videos that I know I talked about certain books on this list down below. But yeah, not for me. Don't understand the hype. An exciting thing this year that I did was I started and am running and hosting a neighborhood book club. I may be the youngest and it's more of like a mom club, but it's fun. I love it. And we've read some decent books, but we've also read some really bad books, and unfortunately like summer into early fall it was just like bad. Like no one really liked a couple of these. Well, the first one that I DNF'd, and as again the book club kind of leader, I felt awful DNFing it. Like how am I supposed to talk about a book that I didn't finish? But I literally had 50 minutes left of the audiobook. That's how close I was to finishing. And that's The Ministry of Time by Callie Ann Bradley. This book was not good. There was a lady that wasn't able to make book club, and she literally had texted us and was like, this book made me feel stupid. And I think that's perfect. I don't know how this was winning awards, why it was on Barnes & Noble's best book of the month. Like, I'm not understanding. This is basically a sci-fi genre bending book, and it's like time travel, and they're bringing back just random people from the past, and they're calling them expats, and they're paired with like a person from the present to try to accommodate them. But you learn like their life, and it's just so boring, and I don't know what even happened in this book. Like, again, I did not finish the book, but I know a lot of people in the book club did, and I googled the ending so that I could say something, or at least know what they were talking about during the meeting. And even my grandmother was like, that's what happened, and she read the book. So I just think it was really confusing. No one liked this book. Not a single person at book club liked this book. I'm not really sure what the hype here was, but it was definitely a DNF for me. I could not suffer through the last 50 minutes. I didn't even know what was going on the whole time, so. Another DNF for me, unfortunately, this book I've heard good things about, was The Thursday Murder Club by Richard Osman. Also, I owned it physically, but I was listening to the audiobook, and maybe that is partly where it fell out for me. Like, there were just so many people I could not keep up. I didn't care about the mystery. My mom actually watched the movie that came out this year on Netflix for it, and she really liked the movie, and she was like, yeah, but I don't think I would like that as a book. So I don't know, just was not for me. It was too confusing. Both of those were just, I couldn't get through either one of those book club books, unfortunately, and I just was not a fan. Now to start my actual list of the worst books of 2025, starting at number 8, I have Graveyard Shift by M.L. Rio, and I did talk about this in my big reading slump vlog, and I really liked this book. I'm not gonna lie, like, I liked the premise. It had promise. I think where the disappointment hit hard was how short it was. And then you can see my live reaction in the video. The more I sat there after I finished it, I was like, what even did I just read, and what even happened? Like, there was so much promise, but then I can't even tell you what happened. Basically, in this book, we follow like a bunch of ragtag people, and this town is like a lot of universities. There's a lot of like rules on like where you can smoke. So late at night, they all meet up in a graveyard and they just smoke cigarettes because it's one of the only places you can smoke. And they just kind of become friends, acquaintances, whatever. You get like a glimpse at each of their lives. It was really interesting. I liked it. And then one night, they see a dude burying a bunch of dead rats in the graveyard. Crazy, right? But like, nothing else came of it. Like, I was so intrigued. Like, I really liked the writing. I was like into it, and then it just stopped. The book just ended. So I did give it a 2 stars. Just was not happy with it and how short it was. Coming in at number 7, was really bummed about this one, is Dragon Fruit by Makia Lucier. This is like a Pacific Islander fantasy YA, and in this we follow like, I don't think she's a princess. I honestly can't remember, y'all. But basically we follow this character, and she's kind of outcasted from her island after her dad steals a dragon fruit, which comes from a dragon, and they have like healing properties. I can't even really tell you what this book's about. Look, it had so much promise. Like, I loved the idea of it, and basically she's trying to save the dying princess and also like try to be accepted back to her homeland. So she goes on this big hunt with the prince, and like they try to find the dragon fruit to help cure the princess. But like, what happened in this book? Same thing with the last book. Like, there was no plot. Well, the last book I liked more. There was plot. This book had no plot. Like, literally, what happened? I loved the world, and it had so much promise. There's like these really cool tattoos that can like come off your skin. Like, it was so interesting, but nothing happened. And it was like everything just wrapped up so quick. I was like, this is so unbelievable. Which, it's a fantasy, so like obviously it'd be unbelievable, but it's like, this is absurdly unbelievable. Nothing happened. I don't even know where the plot went or what the big like build-up was, because there was none. It was just the end. I think I also talked about this in a book vlog, so I'll have to link that down below if you want more thoughts on it. But it was just really disappointing. I was super excited. It had a lot of freaking promise, and it was a 2-star also. Not a fan. Coming in at number 6 is Phantom by H.D. Carlton. This is like the prequel novella novel before the Haunting Adeline duet, or the Cat and Mouse duology, whatever. Which I did like the first book, Haunting Adeline. The second book actually disgusts me, and people that like that book I will judge slightly. I think it was horrific, and I hated it. The first book, alright. Second book, absolutely not. But, you know, if you've read the books, this is not really spoiler, but she finds a diary in the house she's living in, and it's like her great-grandmother or like one of her ancestors, and she also fell in love with a stalker. So this is like the prequel, and it's that story, and I was so intrigued, right? Like, I was like, okay. And this was my first time listening to like a naughty book on audiobook, and it made me giggle for sure. Because I was listening to this at work, I will not lie. I was sitting there and they were saying some absurd things, and I was like turning red and cackling. It was kind of crazy, but I really liked the whole time era. I loved the romance between the two characters, but then it stopped and it was over, and I was like, oh. It also was not near as smutty as the Cat and Mouse duology, which I wasn't expecting really, but it was just like, it was just disappointing. Like, I wanted so much more because I actually liked their story more than Haunting Adeline. Like, I was like, this is so interesting. Like, the time frame and the mob gangster type vibe. Like, I really liked it. And then it just fell through. And it was also a 2-star for me. It was disappointing. Nothing happened in this book either. Like, there was no plot. It was just really cute romance and then over. So, also disappointing. Coming in at number 5 is The Legend of Sleepy Hollow by Washington Irving. Y'all, I know this is like a classic, and I love the movie The Legend of Sleepy Hollow, or Sleepy Hollow. Can't remember what the movie's actually called, but the one with Johnny Depp. I mean, come on, it's Johnny Depp, and it's a cool gothic movie. But what was this book? It's short, and which is part of the reason I read it, and then just nothing happened. It was so boring. I didn't like it, and it's not that I don't like older writing, because I do very much, but I did not like the way this was written. I didn't think it was scary. Like, nothing really happened, which is crazy because one of my favorite booktubers also read this book this year, and he like loved it. I did not like this at all. I listened to this at work, and I was like, this is so boring. I like yawned and it was over. I was not a fan. Like, what happened? I feel like that was a lot of my books on this list. Is just what happened. Nothing. Okay, y'all. This really hurts my heart. And this was one of the first books I read this year. And this was also an entire video of me just ranting about this book. And that is Onyx Storm by Rebecca Yarros, book 3 in the Fourth Wing series, the Empyrean series. I can't remember what we're calling this, honestly. And this book, you can tell it's a middle book. That's what I'll say. If I'm gonna say it nicely, genuinely, again, have an entire vlog dedicated to kind of shitting on this book. So if you'd like to watch that, watch it. I know there were only like 2 people in my life that I heard personally actually liked this book, but everyone else that I have met and talked to about this book was also very disappointed in it. I think I was a little bit more disappointed than some people that I've talked to, but that's because I ate up Fourth Wing and Iron Flame in like a day. Okay, those books were so good. And I'm not saying they're the best writing, alright? I'm a fantasy reader. I like fantasy and like epic fantasy. So for this, they were not the best, but they were a good time. They were still 5 stars. It was the vibes. That is what Fourth Wing is. It's vibes. This book though was dog shit compared to the other two. Okay, you can tell she rushed it because of all the hype going on. You can tell this is a middle book for sure, and there was just, the plot was all over the place. You were just throwing things at us. Things that should have been like huge reveals we've been waiting on were just so lackluster. I was so confused. The ending, if you guys have read this, you probably understand what I'm saying. Even my grandmother was like, what the heck was that ending? I'm infuriated. I would rather wait 5 years for her to write the next book than her rush another one and it be this disappointing and bad. That being said, I mean, obviously I still love this world, right? And I was happy we got more information on like the dragons and you got more world building, but it was so confusing. Like, I don't understand. The plot was like those giant murder boards where you're trying to figure out who done it and you got all the red lines and tape and crap. That's what this book was. Like, my head felt like a giant scrambled ball of yarn. She needed to iron out her thoughts more before publishing this book for sure. And again, that's really all I'm gonna say. That's more than I even wanted to say. If you want like spoiler and non-spoiler thoughts on this book, I have an entire video dedicated to it that I will link down below also. Coming in at number 3 is Little Green Vines by Britt Andrews. And this is a sapphic, smutty little book. It was so bad. I was reading this and cackling. I was like, this writing is awful. Like, there was a specific line, and I don't want to say it on this channel, but there was a specific line I was like, you're lying. You did not just say that. That's so cringy. This basically follows a girl and she just lives in the middle of the woods, and they say the woods are dangerous if you go past a certain point. So like, she just stays in her little, you know, cabin and does her own thing. She gardens, whatever. But then she's kind of getting lured by like a hurt animal, and she's like, oh, like, let me try to help you. And she runs into the woods, and what does she run into? Another creepy, spooky cabin and a like demoness that's like, I don't know, has like a tail, wink wink, and like can control vines, wink. Like, it was, I was like, oh, like this could be interesting. And then it was just written so cringy. I was laughing. Like, smut is one of those things for me where it needs to be written in a way that's not cringy or like straight out of freaking Urban Dictionary, and this one was just awful. I did not like it. That being said, I gave it a 2-star. Like, I liked the premise. I was like, I just wish it wasn't like written bad, and I probably would have liked it more. Alright, y'all, it's really hard for me to pick between number 1 and number 2. I don't know which one should go in which place, because one of them made me so viscerally angry, but then the other one was just so dog shit. So, okay, how about this? Books number 1 and 2, my worst books of the year, can be interchangeable. How about that? So the first one we'll talk about, I also have an entire vlog dedicated to shit talking, is The Maidens by Alex Michaelides. I hated this book. I read it. This is the first book I read of this year. Read it and chucked it across the floor. My boyfriend thought that like something happened in real life, and I was like, no, this book is just awful. Again, 1 star. I'm surprised that I didn't like dent the cover, okay? Like, I chucked it. Did not like it at all. But you guys can honestly just see my thoughts on this. I'm not going to talk about it more because it's going to make me like really angry. It had promise, and then it was just evil, and I hated it. And watch my vlog to hear more on why I hated it, because I don't feel like talking about it. That's how like upset it makes me. The last book on my worst books of 2025 list is Something in the Water by Catherine Steadman. This was also a book club book, and everyone agreed, you know, like the cheesy rom-com Hallmark movies, this was that, but in thriller form. This was so predictable. It was so stupid. It had that very cliche plot of a honeymoon couple goes on vacation, and then they find something that they're not supposed to find, and then it's like all a setup, and it was so bad, so bad. Everything was predictable. She was so stupid. Her husband was stupid. I don't know how she didn't see it coming. Like, it was just awful, awful, awful. Everyone at book club, it was a really interesting meeting that day, because normally normally we like chit chat about the book and then we chit chat about our lives and like catch up and have fun. But no, this like whole meeting was just dogging on this book. This book was so bad. It's set in like Bora Bora and they find something in the water and then they go back home all paranoid and like they start like weird shit happens and it just was, it was bad. Again, I'm not usually someone that can predict books. This year I was really good at it and this one was just one that everyone at book club was like, what the hell was that? So this one or The Maidens is the worst book of the year. I can't tell. That one viscerally made me angry. This one was just so stupid. It made my brain hurt. Yikes. And that's sad because this is the Reese's book club pick and I don't know why, because I mean, I guess it got us all talking. We all mutually did not like the book and dogged on it for about an hour and a half. So I get why it would be a book club book, I guess. It sparked discussion, but it wasn't good. Thank you guys so much for watching. I got a little heated there at the end there. I think I was just trying to rush it because I did not want to talk about those last two books, especially The Maidens. Talked about it enough. Don't like it. Want to get rid of it. Don't even want to look at it. But I hope you guys have had an amazing holiday season. I know mine was really good. Wearing my Grinch shirt because I don't want Christmas to be over just yet, but I hope everyone has a wonderful New Year's. I hope the new year brings you all amazing things. Everyone reaches their amazing reading goals. We all have a good time, and I will see you guys soon with another video.